You are watching With a Cup of Tea, a production of This House of Books, an independent bookstore cooperative and tea shop in downtown Billings. Now, here's our show. You ready? Okay.
Hi, everyone. We are downtown at This House of Books talking to author Vicki Tapia. It's lovely to have you, Vicki.
Thank you, Louisa. I'm happy to be here.
So first, would you tell us something about yourself?
I'd be happy to. I am a Montana native. I grew up in Miles City, and I graduated from the University in Bozeman. Then I moved away. I thought I didn't really want to live in Montana. I lived in Michigan. I lived in Seattle. And in the end, I came back because I love Montana. I found that my heart is in Montana. And the only way I probably could have learned that was to move away. So the things you learn. I was a pioneer in starting the lactation consulting profession in the Northwest, actually getting paid for something I typically had volunteered for. I did this for 30 years. The month after I retired, my first book was published, and I have been a closet writer since I was 16, kept journals for just about life. I'd write down, usually I tended to write when things weren't going well. It helped me to sort things out, but to be able to write for others has been a wonderful experience. I've loved writing my 2 books. It's been great. I'm the mother of 3 and the grandmother of 8.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have your books here, and this is your latest, Maggie. Could you tell us about that?
I'd love to. Maggie is my great-grandmother. She was born in Michigan, and around 1901, she moved to Montana. She was married and divorced 3 times between the years 1889 and 1919, which it was unusual to be divorced 1 time at all in that time period, but she managed to do it 3 times. But in compiling some family genealogy and history back in the late 90s, I came across a lot of information about her, and I thought, I would like to write a book about her. And it laid fallow in my frontal lobes for about 20 years. And after I wrote my first book, then I thought, okay, now it's time for Maggie. And I went forward from there, and this book was born in March of 18. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to reading it. Come on down to This House of Books. Vicki Tapia has signed all of her books here. So this is a wonderful draw. This is your first book.
This book, yes, it kind of was an interloper. I thought Maggie would be the book I would write, but this one said, no, you're going to write me first. And this started as a journal, a way of coping for me with both my parents having dementia at the same time, and I was their family caregiver. So over a period of a couple of years, I kept these journal entries, and it dawned on me that maybe other people might benefit from the lessons that I had been learning along the way. So I, at that time, decided to turn my diary into my journal into a book, and that became Somebody Stole My Iron, which really did happen when my mom called me one day and to tell me that someone had broken into her apartment to steal her iron. So this was also a labor of love. It was a painful time in my life, but I think writing really helped me to navigate the troubled waters of dementia.
I've just read this, and I would say that's exactly true. I can imagine that writing this was balm for your soul. You had a challenging journey
Yes.
with both your parents.
With both my parents.
So, and this too is here, signed. So come down to your independent bookstore. And I wanted to ask you about that. So you are a member author at this bookstore.
I am.
And why?
Well, I think because we are so lucky to have this independent bookstore. It's my way of supporting the bookstore. why wouldn't I be a member? And it's the best thing I could do.
That's the way I feel too. Well, thank you everyone. Come down and join us for tea and buy these fascinating books by Vicki Tapia. Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was nice to be here.
There it is.
This has been a production of This House of Books. If you'd like to be a part of the cooperative, please visit thishouseofbooks.com/get involved.